healthy oils. And I know many of you...
Finally, my goodness.
I know many of you have heard of like olive oil, coconut, flax, maybe not so much, hemp, kind of unusual. Canola oil, cold pressed, treated well, organic, falls into that category.
I'm on a little bit different spectrum. We represent sometimes different views, but which is good. I'm definitely against canola oil.
Yes, and you go ahead and share what, for you, the qualifications.
Yes, so for me, canola oil, which is not very well known, but canola oil is highly abrasive for your body. And if you have some kind of any kind of irritation or inflammation in your body, it will make it worse, and it does feed a lot of pathogens and bacteria. So it's just something to stay away from. But compared to hydrogenated and all the other fats that Danielle was just mentioning, perhaps there's a little bit different spectrum here, but this is just something I do not recommend, and I stay away from canola oil. It is in everything. If you just go to the store, look on the back, it's in everything.
Soybean is in high competition.
Yes, indeed.
So, yeah, and then, you know, my perspective is always about, yes, it is to try to get you healthier, but it's from the fat loss perspective. So we specialize in two different things.
Correct.
But we do like being healthy.
Absolutely. And we want you to be healthy.
Yes. All right, so now we have fish and algae, which is a great source of omega-3s. And omega-3s from fish and from algae is a little different from your chia seeds, from your hemp oil, from all of those other things. It does do something slightly different in the body. It has EPA and DHA, and those ratios are important for reducing inflammation. So some people can use supplements on that. Some people will go ahead and eat the fish. The algae is a vegetarian form of that. And
you get DHA and EPA from that as well. And that's what I prefer. I take my supplements that are DHA, EPA, and they're algae-based. So they're plant-based.
Yes. All right. Butter is a great one because it's natural and it came from an animal. And if it's organic and the animal's happy, yay! I like butter. Butter's really good on a lot of things.
I prefer coconut butter, but that works for you.
I like butter. All right, olives, olive oil,
Love
avocados, nuts.
Love avocados. Can't live without my avocados. Over 25 essential nutrients, easily absorbed. It helps you absorb the nutrients. It goes so well with the leafy greens. If you have like a big salad, just put like a half of avocado on it, and it just goes so well with that.
If you blend it up a little bit, it makes a great salad dressing.
Great salad dressing. So you don't need to pick any kind of processed packaged salad dressing from the store. All you need is really avocado.
So good.
Mix it a little bit with maybe lemon juice, a little bit of garlic, cilantro. Put it in a blender, and you have your salad dressing right there.
Goes good too with tuna.
I'm getting hungry.
Okay. All right, nut butters, peanuts, seeds like your chia seeds, pumpkin, sunflower, hemp, the seeds themselves before they're processed.
Yes. The less processed, the better.
And then we have the category of foods. So eggs, the egg yolk itself has a good healthy source of fat. That helps with the body. It is important to get cholesterol. I know that it came under a lot of flack over the last couple of years because they thought it was the cause of heart disease. But now they've come out and they're like, oh, go ahead and eat eggs. It's a whole food source. It does provide good nutrition for you. So in my book, it's a good thing.
And for some people are sensitive to eggs. It's difficult for them. And they do exacerbate certain conditions. So just know that there are many choices for you. You don't have to go with animal-based fats and source of food. There's also plant-based fats that you can get.
Yes. All right. Back to more animal things. Dairy. Again, we mentioned fish. Meat, bone broth. That's like when you cook down the bone and the cartilage from an animal. That is really good for replacing a lot of issues with joints. Hummus and the pièce de résistance, the very last one here.
Which one?
Would you like to read that?
Oh, chocolate.
Chocolate is a great source of fat, cacao.
Before we go to chocolate, so hummus, a lot of people consider it a health food, which it is if it's prepared by you with natural ingredients and not processed stuff. If you go to the store right now and you pick a lot of hummus products, you look on the back, one of the first things it says is canola oil, which I'm not a fan of, and some of the other things, they don't sound like hummus to me at all. Citric acid, which is harsh on your body, and many other things. So again, it's best to just really prepare your own hummus.
It tastes better too, and it's fresh.
It really does.
If you buy canned beans, you can drain them and put them in a pot and cook them just again to help them to absorb more water, and it makes them slightly less dense, and they blend easier, and for some reason that flavor is brought out more. I don't know why.
If you buy canned beans, make sure they don't have a BPA lining on the inside.
I like the organic ones. Great value. Yes. Nice ones. Okay, serving size of fats. So this is where the fat loss comes in for your body, the fat release. So how much fat should I have if I'm trying to maintain, if I'm trying to lose fat, if I'm trying to increase muscle? All of those things are different. So men, y'all get 2 thumbs a meal if you like. Ladies, and that would be for building muscle. Ladies, 1 or more might help you build muscle. For men who are looking to reduce, you're looking at 1, depending on your size, maybe 1.5 per meal. Ladies, you're looking at 1 to half. So the ratio is anywhere from half of a thumb all the way up to 2 thumbs.
But no more than that.
Correct.
Not the whole arm.
And so you're, the reason that the fat is important, especially for those of us who are in the fat release side of things, is because we're gathering our energy from the fat sources versus sometimes the grains, because for some of us, when we're trying to release our fat, the grains can interfere with that process. So we add a little more fat to it and we lower the grains and we pull the energy from that. That's the only difference. So this is a really nice tool. If you'll notice, I think I got skimped out because my thumb is really skinny.
Mine is,
you know, I think I got look at that. That's not, so not cool.
Yeah, that's what nature wants you to consume. That's it.
Correct. All right, the last thing I wanted to talk about are just the different types of fats and the balance that we need to have. So she mentioned the canola oil. There are different types of omegas. So there's, we've heard most of us omega-3, 6, and 9. There's actually 5, 7, and it keeps on going. But we really need to have a balance between all of them so that our body stays away from inflammation. And I wanted to talk a little bit about the different types of fat. Now, we already mentioned the hydrogenated. So now going into fat balance, we have saturated, monounsaturated, and then we have polyunsaturated.
Monounsaturated is what's in avocados and the plant-based fat sources, and that's really, really good for you.
Bingo. So saturated usually comes from your animal products. Those are your butter, your eggs, your cacao, which is not animal, but still, dairy, and coconut is another saturated one. Monounsaturated is going to be the avocados, the olives, your peanuts, and your nuts. And those nuts have like a blend of 3 and 6, just so you know.
It's a good balance. Yeah, 3 and 6.
Then we have our polyunsaturated fats, and those come from the seeds. They also come from some nuts. There are certain nuts that have more of those than others. Fatty fish, and then your cold pressed seed oils.
Those are awesome.
Yeah.
The cold press. We were just looking at the coconut butters at the store, and they all looked really good on the front. It said coconut butter and all wonderful things.
Some of them were cheaper than others.
And yeah, some of them were cheaper. There was a big tub of coconut butter, and that was very cheap. And you look on the back, and it said refined coconut butter. So it went through some sort of refinement, some heat process. So you're not getting the same nutrients as you would from like expeller pressed. And then right next to it was a smaller can. It was more expensive, but all it says was expeller pressed or mechanically pressed coconut butter. It was not refined in any way. And yes, it was more expensive, it was smaller, but that's what you should really go for if you really care about your health. So we're gonna take a break. We'll come back and we're gonna talk to you about some things that you might be drinking that you might want to rethink, and some other things that you haven't been drinking that you might like to. You really need to think about drinking. All right, see ya.